Okay, I've had such a rough weekend, and I'm sitting up to prove that I can do it. Uh, I don't know. It was um, really really bad. In the first year, I know that I kind of felt like a light was coming out of me really really strongly, and it got worse and worse throughout from the summer of 2013 through to like March April the next year, and it was really really bad. But this one was so much worse because I felt like I feel like I'm awake now to how interesting the English language is. There's so many words that say one thing, but also look like they could be saying something that's like the opposite. And I'm noticing a lot of stuff in just everything really. And I was kind of going on the internet and then realizing that actually I've got a massive massive headache as well. And I feel like my headache could actually be coming from the internet. Every time I seem to log on to the internet, I seem to feel like it's connecting with my brain, and then my brain starts hurting even more. So it's just like maybe I should stop that. And then I was like, after 2 hours of just feeling like I'm just dying, I kind of went to go and watch EastEnders. I know Lola had died because I went to London and my mum watches it, and I think there was an episode that I watched where she was already dead. So I know she died, but I was actually 2 weeks behind. So but yeah, it was interesting. I watched two episodes of EastEnders, and both of them were basically her final moments, and I was just like, yeah, you're just copying me, aren't you? Um, and then it kind of made me think, have I don't know, have I developed anything? Like if I've been doing this for 10 years as well, like connecting with just everything, or sometimes it's not very strong. I feel like this light has like moments. Sometimes it's really, really strong, and sometimes it's not very strong. I guess during the not very strong moments, I can recover, and then during the strong moments, it's just really bad. But yeah, like, this weekend was superly bad. Um, it's definitely not gone away. I'm I don't know. I've got a dentist appointment soon, so um, but yeah, I it's made me wonder, like, if I got like a CAT scan, or I don't know, started thinking about different things. Like, do I use a different part of my brain or something? Like, I'm trying to work out how I do it, and I have no clue. Um, I feel like I just say whatever comes to my head, but it's almost like whatever comes to my head doesn't actually come from my head, but it comes from somewhere else or something. And therefore, even if I'm feeling really, really, really bad, the words still come for some reason. And But yeah, I think it's made me question. I've questioned mental illness definitely a lot, because often there's things that just doesn't make sense, and then afterwards something happens or something changes, and then suddenly it does make sense, and it's just like, yeah, is that what mental where that is probably the root of mental illness. Mental illness is where people connect to the spirit technically knows the whole timeline, and that's how people do things that seem mad and crazy, but sometimes there's actually truth behind it. So that's that stronger film. That's I Can't Get Much Stronger, by Kanye West. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I mean, if you look at it as someone who's got mental illness, and it's a whole negative song about how there's too much mental illness in the world, and mentally ill people are just kind of like taking over the world. Um, and there's power to it, yes, but only because he needs to expose the negative sides of mental illness, and then you've got the positive sides, which is actually through mental illness and suffering that ends up causing, or making, you can make prophecies and stuff. So by having mental illness, sometimes there's good in it, and that's also growing. The number of people that seem to have prophecies or seem to be able to link with me, or just I go places, and I feel like I'm seeing things everywhere. People just constantly trying to remind me that I'm God or something, like that Dory fish that keeps forgetting she's God. Only I feel like I keep doing that, and then I just look around to see lots of different things that people around me seem to be doing, just to try and constantly remind me. But I feel like it's also constantly torturing me. So it's just like, you know, oh, I feel really, really bad, and I'm probably going to spend another day in bed. but I did manage to eat yesterday. So, um, but yeah, I think that's all I need to say.